Hello, my beautiful friends and community of partners of commercial fishermen, supporters of, friends and family. You know who you are. Thank you so much for coming back. Here we are hanging out again. It's a nice Wednesday if you're listening on the day that it goes out or any day that you choose to spend time with us. We are so appreciative. And if you're new here, I'm Megan Waldrop and I'm host of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast, where we discuss all things that have to do with the commercial fishing lifestyle, which includes relationships, finances, safety, mental wellness, you name it. It goes on and on. It's an incredibly unique lifestyle, and I love being able to connect with you and other partners out there to discuss what our experiences are right now. And I know a lot of people out there are probably saying, well, they probably already said goodbye to their fishermen. Actually, your fishermen might be in Alaska already. And if they are, my heart goes out to you. I totally understand those feelings. That first few moments, that first week, maybe a first couple weeks could be a little tough if you're new to it, or maybe you're thriving and you're like, I miss my fishermen. And also I am so happy that I get to spend this time with myself to do what I want to do, have the household flow the way I want it to flow. Whatever spectrum of emotion you're on, it is totally valid. We have been there. We totally get it. Let's get real. One year, Chris left for Bristol Bay and we left on a bad note. I was basically pissed the whole summer because we weren't able to resolve this issue that we had. And I do not recommend that for anyone. So I just want to say, whether you're happy, sad, or mad, I've been there and I know others have too. So there's no shame in this game. All right. That's just how we flow. This is a whole different type of existence that we were made for, or else we wouldn't be doing it right now, because we are the partners and we are the freaking backbone of this industry, whether people want to admit it or not. I feel like people are understanding that if it wasn't for the invisible labor of women around the world who are partners to commercial fishermen, this industry would not be the multi-billion-dollar industry it is today. I will say that. I will continue to say that. You've heard me say that before. And I just want to constantly remind and reflect your value to you, whether you are involved in the fishing business or you are a stay-at-home mom, hardest job in the world, or you have your own business and you're still trying to run the household with the kids, or even if you're just loving your fishermen, giving those kind words, that is a huge service. And that is what helps make this huge industry such a success. Fishermen feel cared for. They feel that things are being taken care of at home. They feel that they can trust you just like you feel like you can trust them and their abilities to fish safe. And that is going to help keep their mental state more clear whenever they're doing these long openers or these long runs where they're fishing for over 24 hours, or you know how that game goes. So this is for you, partners. It always is. This specific episode today is for the girls and the partners who have said goodbye to their fishermen, and who the fishermen's maybe in Alaska right now. And this is an interview that was one of the first interviews ever on the podcast, but I wanted to reshare it because I feel like it didn't get enough play. It was just too good. This is with POCF Aubrey McNeil, who I met through my blog. She reached out after finding me on Google, which thank God. I love it when people reach out to me and say that they've found the blog on Google or however you find it. Please, love your DMs. I love your emails. It just means so much. And Aubrey was so kind to open up and share more about her life of being with a commercial fisherman. And in this interview, we talk about how she navigated the decision to be in a long distance relationship and what helped her adjust when her fisherman is away. Also, how she found the POCF community and the most significant takeaways from being in our community, and how owning her independence throughout has been the biggest gift and how she did that. And even better, how Aubrey wanted to get more involved in the industry. And so she leaned in to work with the Bristol Bay Regional Seafood Development Association. And she talks all about how she was able to meld her real life skills and combine it with her passion to become more involved in the fishing industry. So this is a little throwback convo, but I just love it so much because I feel like you'll also see the progression of this podcast. I'm leaving in the old intro music, and it's just funny when I listen back to it to see how much we've all grown as a community. I think this interview came out, or we probably did this interview back in 2022, but it came out in 2023. And it's always nice to see growth, and it's always lovely to see how similar and how things haven't really changed in the sense of what connects POCFs all over the place. And my favorite part of being a part of this community is sharing personal stories, but most of all is hearing your personal stories. And so if you're a POCF out there, if you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, maybe you're a student, it doesn't matter. If I would love to feature you on this podcast, I would love to share your story. You can help others feel less alone. And it's also such a beautiful way to connect with each other, but also with new people that you haven't even met yet. And also I wanted to note that Aubrey in the interview mentions the private Facebook group, but our private Facebook group has now turned into our incredible private chat, which I'm going to leave in the show notes. And our private group chat is lively. We have two right now. We have one for more seasoned POCFs that are interested in how to get more involved in advocacy and in the fishing businesses and how to market all these things. Of course, motherhood, everything like that. Then we also have a newer private group chat for POCFs who have been with their fishermen for less than 5 years. And so this one's so great too, because it reminds me of what it was like when I first started dating Chris. And the conversations there have to do with how do we deal with these long distances? What's the best way to connect? How does one get through moments of sadness? And we really get into the beautiful part of what it is. It's the foundation that creates our independence and our confidence to take on this industry and also make our lives whatever the heck we want it to be, because we are partners. We can do that. We do not beat to the same drum as everybody else. And that is a gift. We create our own life in our own way, in our own timeline, and we don't have to answer to anyone, okay? Just ourselves. But I digress. I really hope you enjoy this interview today. It's one of my favorites because it is with a POCF number one, and it's with Aubrey, who was there really from almost the very beginning of this whole blog. So I hope you all enjoy. Please let me know if you see anything or hear anything that really connects with you. And also, I asked Aubrey in the episode, what does she want to see more of in the POCF community? And I would love to know what you would love to see more of in the POCF community. You can email me your thoughts at support@pocfpride.com. I am here. I am listening. I can't wait to connect with you. Let's dive in. As you know, safety is one of our biggest concerns as partners of commercial fishermen. So if you or someone you know has been injured while working on the fishing vessel, you don't have to navigate it alone. Do you know your rights and what happens after an injury? Would you like proactive legal education before issues arise? Need expert guidance before making decisions that could impact your case? Attorney Michael Flynn has been fighting for injured fishermen for decades. And as a side note, we only partner with sponsors who genuinely care about commercial fishing families, which is why I'm proud to introduce Michael as a sponsor of the POCF community. You can contact him today for a consultation at flynnwirkus.com. That's FLYNNWIRKUS.com. And tell him that the Partners of Commercial Fishermen sent you. I'm here with POCF Aubrey McNeil, and I'm so excited to speak with her today because Aubrey is one of the first people to ever inspire me to start a community for Partners of Commercial Fishermen. And we're going to hear about her journey from being a partner, girlfriend of a fisherman, and to now she is very involved in the industry, and I'll let her explain more about it. So thank you so much for being here, Aubrey. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's still not real that this is happening. I'm so excited. So was very happy to connect.
Oh,
so yeah.
Ditto. My heart is so warm to know that there's a face to the name, to the comments that I've seen, and I really always appreciate your support. So I'm just going to dive in and we're just going to start to get to know you. So I'd love to know the basics. What's your name? Where are you from? And how did you meet your fisherman?
Yeah. So obviously my name is Aubrey, and I am from Washington State. So I currently live in Bellingham, but I grew up about an hour south of here, moved to Bellingham for college, and then never left, in part because of all the awesome people that I've met here. But yeah, so Bellingham is it has a lot of commercial fishermen in it. I mean, it's like the most northern part of Washington. For people who are tuning in who don't know where Bellingham is, like top corner of the U.S. basically before you hit Canada. So there's a lot of commercial fishermen that live in the Bellingham area. And so I actually met my commercial fisherman. His name is Christian. through working at a brewery together, which Bellingham is like also known for its breweries. And yeah, there was like a beer delivery program that was started. This was like long before COVID, and it was the first beer delivery service ever of Washington State. And I was the dispatcher. So like I would get all the phone calls from people, saying, "Hey, I'd like to order a 6-pack to my house." And he was the beer delivery driver. So we were like the only two in the office. We'd work like Friday nights together when the restaurant was also really busy. And so yeah, like we just became friends through that. We had a couple of mutual friends who had kind of connected us before then. Then he got his job there. So we'd kind of already known each other, worked together for beer delivery, got to know each other for 6 months. And then, yeah, we didn't actually start dating. Like I knew him when he left for his first season where I knew him, but then we didn't start dating until like a month after he got back. But there was interest there, definitely, like right before he left. So, and that was like 5 years, 6, 5, certain number of years ago.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. Yeah. Time flies, right?
I know. Yeah.
Did you have any experience with commercial fishing, and what kind of challenges presented itself when you guys first got together?
Yeah. So my experience with the commercial fishing industry was pretty small. I mean, I knew a few people, like commercial fishermen that I had been friends with through the Bellingham community, that I had gotten to sort of know about the industry a bit. And then when I met Christian and this whole friend group of his, who was all like kind of grown up in Bellingham, they had all been going, you know, since teenagehood or whatever, and we're very heavily involved in the industry. And so I knew of the industry, but I really got to know it personally through Christian, just from our time dating. And I think, the biggest thing you said, challenges for
when you first started dating.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing was just missing him, right? Like we had just started dating after he went away for the first season, which we didn't know if we were going to date or whatever. Right. So I think the second season where I knew him and he was gone and we were officially kind of together was really tough. Just because you meet people from the industry and then there's maybe a few other girlfriends like me, who are at home while their fisherman is like off fishing. And, it was nice to be able to connect, but there was also a lot of times where, you can only talk so much about it because maybe it's like your same group of people and you are like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so's doing right now. I wonder what so-and-so's doing. And then it was just kind of like, okay, well, they're figuring out how to get by like in their world. And, maybe they have friends and family nearby, or they've been doing this for 10 years. Like, they were up in the Bay together for years. And then, the wife's last season was the husband's first season not going there. And so I was like, I can't really like connect with him too much either, just because like it's different in a sense. He's seen the Bay, like he's understood it. So yeah, I think it was just missing him and trying to figure out how to connect with people or really find a way to navigate it. Like, you have this person that's in your life and has been in your life for 10 months and then all of a sudden they're just gone. And like, there's no contact, right? Like at the time, it's getting better now, but there was like no cell service in Bristol Bay, Alaska, which is where Christian fishes. And it was just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it all out while also like living your life and figuring out how to be a person when you just got so used to having this like best friend near you for so long. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my long-winded answer. That's a great one. Question number 2.
No, totally relatable. I know so many people understand that for sure. And so how did you find the Partners of Commercial Fishermen community, and what prompted you to go online and look for it?
Yeah. So I don't remember what exactly it was that I Googled, but I Googled something like that had to do with being like a girlfriend or a partner of a fisherman or whatever. Like, I think it was something like, how do you deal with missing them or something? Because, everybody Googles something at one point to try and figure something out. And you're like, this is a weird internet history search, but it's not as bad as it could be. So I like Googled it. And then I think one of your very first articles came up. I don't even remember the name of it. I should have looked it up, but, I just remember finding it and reading it and being like, oh my gosh, this is like spot on for what I've been feeling. Like, this is exactly the questions that I had and some of the answers I was looking for. And I think I had kept that in mind, and then like maybe even followed you on Instagram, because obviously I was like, okay, who wrote this? It was on your blog. And then like a week later, and I just was looking at this before we talked, I went back through my Instagram DMs, and a week later or so, I DM'd you because you had posted about being near Bellingham. And I was like, this is the sign to reach out to Megan and just be like, hey, your article was like, it meant so much to me. It felt nice to not be alone. And, like I have these amazing partners who are at home with me now, but also to know there's other people out there. Because, like, it's a big enough industry. There's like 8,000 fishermen. There's no way I was alone, right? I think that was kind of the initial outreach, was just to say thank you. And then you were like, let's talk. And so we emailed a little bit, and I was just reading through some of those emails, and all of the tips that you had sent me, which I think ended up being around like 12. And I was like, yes, give me as many as you can. Every single one I like implemented or did, and it just made such a difference. And that was kind of, I think maybe, I don't know where you were at in the beginning of Partners of Commercial Fishermen, but it was definitely like, this is what I'm looking for. And some of your messaging was like, I'm going to start writing about this more, I think, like lean into this.
Well, thank you so much for that. No, that is so wild. And if it wasn't for you and other Partners of Commercial Fishermen reaching out, I would have never known that there are other women or partners out there who had the same questions and needed these same type of solutions, like even just, connecting or sending care packages, or, finding and cultivating your independence so you can have your own life and not totally obsess about, is he okay? Or why hasn't he texted me? Or, all these things. What does this mean for the relationship? So I appreciate you saying that. There's one subject that we're constantly talking about, whether on the podcast or in our Partners of Commercial Fishermen community, and that is safety. And here's a hard truth. Did you know 8 out of 10 fishermen lost at sea weren't wearing a PFD? It's time to change that. At Kent Safety Products, they make life-saving gear designed for real fishermen. No bulk, no hassle, just protection that works when you need it most. They also have the most Coast Guard approved PFDs on the market. So whether you're fishing in hot or cold environments, a fisherman can find one to fit their needs. And partners, let's just pause for a moment and think about how much it would ease stress to know that your fisherman is protected each time they go to sea. It's a lovely thought, right? And as a side note, we only partner with companies that have heart, those who truly want the best for our fishing communities and have high quality products. That's why I am proud to have Kent Safety Products as a sponsor. Visit kentsafetyproducts.com and find the right PFD for you and your fishermen. That's kentsafetyproducts.com. And so I was wondering, what have you been able to achieve / what became easier for you since being in our POCF community?
So much. Just knowing, I think the biggest thing is just knowing that there's other people out there, right? Like other partners that are also missing their fishermen. And it was fun too. Like, I was lucky to have an inside scoop on, well, you had emailed me saying, here's how to send a care package. Like, here's how you normally address it. And then I also had a friend who was in the Bay that occasionally would have Wi-Fi, and I double checked that I had the right address with her, and she was like, yes, that's right. After however many days she was able to respond. So again, I know I'm lucky because a lot of other partners like don't even know anybody in the industry, right? But knowing that, since then, I feel like I've been able to tell other people who have like dated partners in the industry, and then watching now with this Facebook group, people asking about that and what goes in a care package. And I've got, my whole care package like saved to a note thing on my phone. And I'm like inspired every summer, or, I mean, there's different fishing seasons, of course, right? Like, partners are all over. But I feel like I'm always really inspired by what some people are like putting into their care packages and the creativity and like crossword puzzles, which depending on the industry and depending on how the run's going that year, they either have a ton of time or they have no time to be doing a crossword puzzle, but it's just fun to like throw it in there. So yeah, I think like being inspired by it. And then two, just, you know, every time something pops up on my feed from the Partners of Commercial Fishermen group, it's just like that reminder that I'm not alone. And that also a reminder of the growth too, that I've seen in our relationship and myself over the last 5-6 years of him going fishing and, like really learning how to become an independent person too. Like just the posts as well on that. Like there's so many people who talk about that. The other day, someone posted about their cleaning rituals. Like, do you just get into like a mad scramble, right? Of cleaning like right before your fisherman gets home, which made me laugh because it's so true. And like, you know, Christian and I had this like thing going last year of, is the garden going to die before he comes back? Am I going to do a good job of taking care of it? And I was like dedicated to it. And then of course, let it get a little wild. So then was in a mad scramble to like trim everything up and pull the weeds. It's like the week before he came home. So it's just funny to like connect with people all over who are doing different things, yet they're totally in the same mind space and lifestyle as you.
Totally. It's like living a bachelorette lifestyle, then living this like tight partnership, teamwork, you know, relationship that you got going on for sure. I have a question because I would love to know, what would you like to see more of in our community? If you could, what would make it better for you?
Oh gosh, I know. Well, this is I feel tricky because I feel guilty because I'm going to say something, but I know you've been working so hard to make it happen. And then I'm like terrible with my responses or joining in, but calls and like connecting, I think that would be amazing. Like, and I know that you've done many of those and you're doing more and figuring it out. I think it's always tricky, you know, based on time zones and people's schedules and if they work, you know, a day shift or a night shift job, but I would love to dive into that more. And so I think like just continuing those opportunities for us to be able to connect. I know there's a couple people in Bellingham that are also, I don't know if they're part of the Bristol Bay industry, but they're a partner of a commercial fisherman somewhere. And again, like half of this is entirely on me because I'm just terrible at responding to things, but connecting with them, I think, and that would be just, I could see that being such a huge just bonus because you're not only, you know, making more friends who get it and you can talk to about it, but also say it is someone in your town who, you know, is a part of, they have a commercial fisherman that's a part of the same industry, hanging out with them during the time where they're all gone, right? Like getting together and sending your care packages together. I always find that so fun. So having somebody to like do it with that just gets it and understands, I think that's a big thing. I had a friend, most of the fishermen in our friend group have kind of not retired, but have moved on to different jobs and are not fishing anymore. But I did have a friend who went back and fished, and his fiance at the time, and I got to have a ton of fun last summer because, you know, the boys were gone fishing. And so we were like sleepovers and wine nights and all this stuff. So it was nice to like have somebody again, because I think most of the group kind of stopped fishing within the first couple of years after I started seeing Christian. So then I ended up being like the solo, one of the few still at home. So yeah, I don't know. I think just connecting again. And like, I know you've been doing an amazing job at trying to get that going, and it's just a matter of, you know, figuring it all out. But I think that you should continue because I'm like, let's do it. And I'm ready. And I think like around the season too would be so helpful. Like being like right around when I'm like, okay, I know he's leaving. First week's going to be really tough. Like making a plan to like connect right around then. And again, I know it's juggling like multiple different fishing seasons, but I feel like that would be a good time. Yeah. I don't know.
I love that suggestion. Thank you so much for that encouragement to keep going with that, because you're right.
Yeah.
The time zone thing is a thing, but at the same time, that's just one small challenge. And as POCFs, we know that we are very resilient and can get over challenges and make it happen. So that's great. I love that. So there is one word to describe your experience being a partner of commercial fishermen. What would it be?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to, I don't know. I think like, it's not going to make total sense. So I'll explain it. But I think independence would be the word. And I say that because I think I feel really grateful for my relationship with Christian because we're both such independent people. Like when he's out fishing, I get to be my own person. And I think, like growing up, middle school relationships or high school relationships, you're like, oh, I am the other half to that person. And, coming into adulthood, you're like, no, I'm my own person. And that's a huge thing that I think I've really learned over the years of Christian going away is just like, yeah, I'm my own person and I do my own things and I'm totally fine and comfortable and confident being independent and knowing that he's out there doing his thing. And I'm not going to think about the dangers too much. I'm just going to know he's just jamming on the back of a boat and probably covered in fish scales. And I'm going to go do whatever I want. Right. So like I've planned a ton of like girl trips or family trips during this time or like binging on my favorite shows that I know he would never want to watch with me. I think it's really helped me become more independent as a woman, not just from the times that he's gone, but then also when he's home too. Like, he's an avid fly fisherman in the off season. So he's just a fisherman by nature. But he's spent a lot of time out on the rivers, just fishing. Like that's his happy place. And so he'll go out and do those things. And, I'm already like, well, I've already got plans with this friend group. I'm, volunteering on the board of this nonprofit this week, or I'm going to see my family this week. And it's never a matter of like, oh, like you don't want to hang out with me. It's a matter of like, oh, you're doing that. Great. I'm going to go do this thing. Or, we both already just make plans and it happens to work out great. And I think it feels really healthy. So I think a sense of being able to be so independent while also being in such a trusted relationship is really great. It's been one of my favorite things.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's such a great balance to have that deep connection with somebody and also that deep connection with yourself and to be okay with it. And also having different interests are healthy. It's healthy for us to have time apart because then we get to miss each other, and really cherish
exactly. Yeah.
that time together. So I love that answer. It's so honest and real and definitely one of, if not the biggest silver lining of being with a commercial fisherman, I feel as well.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear how your life has progressed since you started dating your fisherman, because now you're super involved with BBRSDA. And I would love for you to explain how you got there and what BBRSDA means. So you take over and tell us about your journey.
Yeah, it's been a journey. The last few years have been such a whirlwind. I guess starting like before I met Christian, I had a few friends that were in the industry and I'd always, taken a big interest in it. I just thought it was really awesome that you like get to go away and have this like tough, hard work. And, back in middle school, I think I took like wood shop like 3 or 4 times, as many times as I could, or like TA'd for it because I just like loved the physical labor part of it all. And so I know I may not like seem like the person who's like, yeah, I want to go fishing and get covered in fish guts, but I'm like, I want to be like, rocked to my core in terms of like your mental capacity, just doing the same thing every day for 2 months. Of course, I say this and like every fisherman's going to be like, you're okay, get over that like right away. But I just like had a huge desire to know more about the industry and be involved in some way. And so for a while it was like, okay, maybe I'm going to go fishing, like see if I have any friends that have a boat that I'd feel comfortable on and want to go fishing. I don't want to have any regrets. And I think this is something that I really feel like I want to be involved in this industry somehow. And I was not quiet or shy about that at all. So in our friend group, I was always asking questions and one person always being like, I got a boat for you this summer. Do you want to go up? And, it would not work out for some reason, but I was always like really excited and interested and hopeful. And then I had a friend just kind of randomly reach out to me and be like, hey, there's this marketing opportunity coming up to work for a fisherman out of Bristol Bay. And so my background as well, I have a degree in marketing and international business. So I was kind of starting my marketing career and wanted to sew that into, I'm very passionate about sustainability and transparent marketing and all of those things. So the fact that there was like this opportunity to maybe combine this career that I've started building and all my education and experience with this industry that I was so excited and eager to know more about and be a part of in some capacity, just like came out of the blue. And so I, of course, responded right away and was like, let me talk to this fisherman. Like, I want to know. And so then I think 2 interviews later, I had the position. So I worked remotely for this fisherman based out of Pennsylvania, but fishes in the Bay every year. And had a great time like growing in marketing and learning about fishing. And it was really great because I think it's hard to market something you don't know much about. And because so much of my life revolved around Bristol Bay sockeye or fishing specifically for so many years, it felt like a natural kind of like sewing of my 2 worlds. And it was just so much fun to like be able to be like, oh, I actually know what they're doing in that picture, or I know what openers are, or just having the background knowledge and the support of all of the awesome people and fishermen in the industry that I'd already known for years. It was really fun. So I did that for about 2 years and did some like brand development and strategy and just really fun to learn how to like ship Bristol Bay sockeye all over the US as well, right? And then had the opportunity to come up for a position with the BBRSDA, which is where I'm at now. And BBRSDA stands for the Bristol Bay Regional Seafood Development Association. It's a mouthful, but they do quite a bit. And I'm pretty excited to be here. When I first kind of joined the industry, I knew this was something that I wanted to do for a while and wanted to figure out a way to be able to support more than just my fishermen in the industry. And so that chance to go work for this fisherman, sharing sockeye all over the US was like, great, I'm going to be able to help use my skills to make an impact and get Bristol Bay sockeye to people's doors. Like, that's incredible. And then I had the opportunity to work with the BBRSDA, which is entirely focused on like maximizing the value of the fishery for the members or the permit holders or fishermen who have boats. There's, many members. It's not just them. But so like, I don't know, leaning into that and thinking, oh my gosh, now I can help, as much as I can, right? Like I'm one person, but I can take these skills and this excitement and this passion about, this incredible fish that also comes from such an unparalleled habitat. There's nothing like Bristol Bay sockeye or Bristol Bay on the planet. And I could actually take all these skills that I've learned and grown into and be able to help so many people, the industry as a whole. Like, first and foremost, it was like, oh, holy crap, that's big news. That's awesome. If I could do that, had always sort of been a dream to figure out like, okay, well, what's the next step? And BBRSDA also has a lot of great marketing materials for free for their fishermen, like the one I had worked for. So I had been on their site 1.5 million times using those materials and had like joked about working for them someday, like with people. And then the opportunity came about. And so, I joined about 2 months ago. Yeah, I'm only a few weeks in to the job. And it's been a total blast. Like, everyone is just so great. And there's nothing like being on a team. Well, there's a board of fishermen. So there's nothing like being on a team that gets to work with all these fishermen on a regular basis. And then also the team at BBRSDA is just incredible. And somebody first called them world-class. And I was like, yep, that's it. That's the term. And it's still not real that I get to be a part of this world-class team. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is so exciting. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. And how can people connect with you, either at work or online?
Yeah. So you can go to BBRSDA's website. I think I'm on there, maybe not. But if you want to connect with me outside of that as well, you can go to my Instagram. It's a new one, so don't be surprised if there's only a couple of posts on there. I'm trying to get better at it. But the Instagram is at AUBS, AUBS _outside. That's where I'm trying to kind of put all of my content for the fishing world. And I also really enjoy like hiking and kayaking and all sorts of things since I live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. So that's a great spot to DM me if you want to talk or connect or all those things. And of course, like my work through Bristol Bay or BBRSDA as well. There's contact info on the website. So awesome. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add for anybody maybe just getting into this industry or anything at all?
I know I'm was trying to think if there's anything specific I wanted to share. I think number one is thank you to you. I'm going to add that first. Thank you for building this community, just because I think it was so needed. And, great job seeing this niche that we all didn't realize we needed this community. And now that it's here, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how could have survived without it. And I think it's a big reason, not feeling alone as a partner is a huge reason why I've also really wanted to continue being involved in the industry in one way or another. So that's the other piece too, is if you have something that you're passionate about, whether it's, the commercial fishing industry that your partner is a part of, or just anything that really inspires you, and, you've got some sort of skill from some sort of previous experience, don't be shy to find a way to sew those together, or at least be loud enough to your network of friends so they think of you when those opportunities come around. That would be, I think, the biggest piece of advice from my end of things. And also, I'm no professional, but I'm still learning. So it's cool to see what other people are doing too. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here and honestly for reaching out, because we wouldn't be a community without you for sure. So I appreciate your time so much, and I look forward to connecting even more in the future. Thanks so much, Aubrey.
Yeah, thanks, Megan.
How great was that interview? I love how Aubrey is just so candid. She's so casual, so well-spoken, and really speaks to the heart of so many POCFs out there, because we totally understand what each other are going through. No matter what's going on, we don't have to feel alone. And I invite you to come further in our community so you can connect with women like Aubrey in our private group chat. It's so amazing to just pop on, text questions, photos, whatever you have, or just want to connect with other POCFs internationally. By the way, we are international up in that chat. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes. I invite you to come. We'd love to meet you there. And so I thank you again so much for listening to the POCF podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to speaking with you more next week when we talk more about what it's like for other POCFs. What are their experiences like? How do we all connect and relate on those levels? Because that really is such the beautiful thread that ties us together, but also keeps it exciting, keeps this whole experience of being a POCF worth living. We get to connect with these women that you normally wouldn't meet. I mean, I didn't know anybody when I started dating my fisherman, and that's really why I started the blog in the first place, because I wanted to talk about the lifestyle and I just pressed publish. I didn't think anything of it. I was thinking, well, maybe someone else could find this helpful. And look at us now. It's so freaking awesome. I just truly appreciate your presence and all the work that you do for your family, your industry, and yourself. And most of all, for being a part of this community by showing up every week, even if it's just scrolling through Instagram or hopping on the blog, or obviously listen to this podcast. It means so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to chatting more next week with love and POCF pride. Till next time. Thank you so much for listening. To support our community, I'd so appreciate it if you'd tap the subscribe button to this podcast or write a review. And if you're a POCF who wants to connect further, go to POCFpride.com for weekly vlogs and to learn about opportunities to join our private communities. We'd love to have you.